Hey guys, today I'll be showing you how to host your MERN app online using AWS EC2. So first off, what you need to do is sign in to your AWS Academy account. Go to the Academy Learner Lab, go to modules, and over here, press on launch AWS Academy Learner Lab. This will take a bit. Once your lab is loaded and this AWS symbol turns green, press on this symbol. It will take you to the AWS console. Over here in console, in search bar, search for EC2. In EC2, tap on launch instance. Name your instance anything you want. I'll be naming it MERN tutorial. Next up, choosing the OS you will be using. I'll be using Ubuntu. You can use Ubuntu, Amazon Linux as well. Don't use Mac OS or Windows. They are too heavy and they'll occupy most of the RAM on our tiny instance type. Anyways, going ahead, keep the architecture 64-bit x86 only. Keep the instance type as t2.micro. This is a free tier eligible instance. Next up is a very important step for key pair login. Go ahead, create a new pair. You can name it anything meaningful. I'll be naming it MERN app key. Keep it RSA type and for file format keep it .pem as we'll be using SSH. Go ahead, create this key pair. It will be downloaded in your downloads folder. Next up, all these things are keep them as it is and go ahead and launch this instance. Alright, once this is launching your instance, if you go ahead and see in instances, it's pending state. So while it's launching your instance, go ahead and in network and security tab, go to elastic IPs. Over here, press on allocate elastic IP address. Keep the network border group as US East 1 from Amazon pool of IPv4 address and allocate it. Once it allocates your IP address, you can go ahead and select your IP address over here and in Actions tab, press Associate Elastic IP address. Over here, choose your MERN tutorial instance that you just created and press on Associate. So now our IPv4 address has been associated to our MERN instance. You might ask why we did that. So basically, whenever you turn off your instance and turn it on again, normally it would reallocate the IP address to it. And you don't want that happening right now. Because in development phase, you will be having two folders, backend and frontend. For frontend to talk with backend, you need to have a static IP address, right? You won't be pushing the changes again and again. That's why we are using an elastic IP. In your free tier, you are allowed to have only one elastic IP. Then go ahead and instance, and we can see the instances running. Now, what you need to do is first off, go to your instance again, click on this select tab. Over here, press on this copy button of your instance. There are bunch of IPs over here, but this one is the useful one, the one you need. Now go ahead to your MERN app. Now you have your backend and frontend. Your backend will be running on port 4000. So for frontend to communicate, you must have mentioned your URL somewhere, right? So we have prepared a separate API config file in which we are storing this URL and we are importing this URL wherever we need to communicate with backend. We are importing this URL over there. import API URL from utils API config. So we don't need to keep on changing the URL everywhere we go. Store the URL in this format. Export const API URL. The URL you just copied, paste it over here, and the port will stay 4000 because your backend server will be running on port 4000. I recommend using MongoDB Cloud because if you use MongoDB local, uh, the RAM usage might increase and your instance might get overloaded. Now, once you are done adding this API URL, what you need to do is go ahead in your, let me just open a new terminal over here in my repository. Go ahead in your frontend folder and run this command npm run build. Now, why you need to run this command is because React app by itself is not an optimized version for your web. So when you want to put your app in production, you have to run this command npm run build. So it optimizes your app into simple .html css.js file. Anyways, once your app is built, what you need to do is push these changes to your GitHub repository and give it some meaningful message while you are pushing. I'll be just saying that build folder for AWS EC2 deployment will stage all these changes and in will doing commit and push. Once you have pushed your code on GitHub, your own project work over here on your desktop is done. You need to go to your GitHub profile and just check once. Go to repositories, the repository you committed to, and check over here if the commit was successful or not. It shows that it was just now updated. Build folder for AWS EC2 deployment. So yeah, it's working. Now what you need to do is go ahead in your instance, select this instance over here and press connect. Over here, copy this SSH command and go to downloads folder and type cmd. A command terminal will open in your downloads folder. Now paste the SSH command by clicking the right mouse key, else you can do Ctrl V as well and press enter. It will say that it's your first time, right? So it will ask you, are you sure you want to continue connecting? So go ahead, say yes. Now over here you can see my command prompt changed to Ubuntu IP 172.31.33.1, meaning I am currently logged in on the terminal of this instance, this MERN tutorial instance that's running on cloud. What you need to do over here is first off do sudo apt-get update. Run this command. Give it some time while it's updating Ubuntu. Once you are done updating Ubuntu, what you need to do is install sudo apt install npm. So this will install npm in your remote operating system EC2 instance. This will take a bit of time. Alright, once it's done installing npm, what you need to do is go ahead and run this command curl and this link. So what it will do is install nvm. Now why you need to install nvm? Because the npm version right now is, if you go ahead and do node version, oh sorry, I think it's node v only, yeah, it's node 12.22. And if you go to any terminal of your project, any terminal in your operating system, and search node v, you can see that the latest node version you are working with is 20.11, the one I'm working with. So what you need to do is update this outdated node version on your EC2 instance. So the way you do this is install first off, curl this GitHub repository. Next, you have to say source. Don't worry, I'll be putting all these commands in the, okay, if I can type it properly, bashrc. Yeah, this is the command. Once you run this command, next you have to type nvm install and the version of the node you want to install. I will be installing 20.11.0, the one on my operating system. You can install any version you want as long as it supports the packages in your node app. So nvm install 20.11, it will install the node version 20.11. Once it's done installing, go ahead and do nvm use 20.11.0. Now using node v 20.11. You can go ahead and check this by saying node v. As you can see, we are using node version 20.11.0. So it's been a lot of coding so far, right? And not actual output. So let's go ahead, go to your GitHub repository, in code over here, copy this HTTPS link. Over here, come to your instance again and do git clone and paste the link you copied just now. It will start cloning the repository from GitHub. It's done. If you go ahead and type ls, you can see the plant care automation repository over here is there. So let's go to cd plant care automation. Once you have entered your GitHub repository, what you need to do is first off start your backend app, right? Express app. So do cd backend and do npm start is what we'll be doing. But you missed an important step. Before you do npm start, what you do is install all packages for this required for this backend, right? So do npm I, which means stands for npm install. So it will install all the packages that we require for running this project. Once it's done installing, then we can go ahead and type npm start and we get the error. So the reason we get this error is because in my backend folder, I am using a .n file, right? So this .n file isn't uploaded on GitHub because of security reasons, right? This has sensitive info like the Mong URI, which isn't supposed to share with anyone. So what you need to do over here is go to your instance and do touch dot n. I know, sounds sketchy, but what it does is basically create a .n file over here. If we go ahead and do ls, we can see that no, we can't see over here the .environment file was created, but it is there. What you need to do next is do sumo.n. Okay. Sorry, that was a mistake on my part. You need to do nano.n. Once you do, it opens the .n file in a text editor. What you need to do is go ahead in your .environment file and copy all the contents of the .environment file and paste it over here. Let me do that. Alright, so I did that. I pasted the contents of .n file over here, over in nano.n. And after you have pasted the contents, what you need to do is press Ctrl X and then press Y for yes, save it, and then press enter. So it will push you out of nano. And now you can go ahead and try running your instance by saying npm start, and hopefully this time around your server should start listening. All right, so we have turned on our backend server now. Now what we need to do is go ahead to downloads, say command again. Over here, paste the SSH command that you saw in connect. The reason we are doing this separately is we want our backend running separately and front ends running separately, right? Also, this once this video is done recording, I'll be deleting the instance, so don't try to run this. Run your own SSH command. Anyways, this new window session has started, and this is the same instance. If we go ahead, do ls, we can see our plant care automation is over here. Now, what you need to do is go to cd plant care automation. Now you will notice that it's lagging a bit because the memory usage has already reached 30%. Now what you need to do is go to your front end folder, and now remember, we don't want to run the npm start, or we don't want to install anything as well over here. What you need to do is npm install -g serve. All right, don't install anything else. This is a very crucial step, and if you mess up over here, you'll need to start the whole process again. Once you are done installing the serve, go ahead and do serve -s build, and as simple as that, our React app is being served on web. Now, how do I access this React app? This link won't work because it's on their own personal network. What you need to do is go over to your MERN tutorial link, copy this, go to your browser, your favorite browser, and do this. And now, if we notice, it won't open. The reason it won't open is because we need to enable traffic to it. So what you need to do is go to security, in inbound rules, press this launch wizard. Now in launch wizard, select this instance, and in inbound rules, over here you can see only TCP request on port 22 is being accepted right now for SSH. Go ahead and add rule, enter 3000 over here for your React app, and for the source, do it anywhere IPv4. Now you, in realistic situations, you don't want to give access from anywhere, but during development phase you can do that. Now create another custom TCP. This time the port range should be 4000. Again, do it from anywhere. So this will be your front-end port. This will be a back-end port. You need to add both of them for your app to work. Save these rules. You can see inbound security group rules successfully modified. Now, if you go ahead and reload this page, it will start serving your website. And over here, this is my website, our website. And we can like go ahead and see in guides tab, the data is being fetched from the server. All right. This is slow, of course, because like it's coming from a server. And yeah, over here, the login functionality is working as well. Give me a sec. Just let me log in. All right. So if we press on login over here, we got logged in. Now you might notice this button didn't change because there's a bit of a bug in our application. Over here now you can see that my name is being represented. I can head to dashboard and this will take a bit of time, and yeah, the data is being fetched. All the data is being fetched right now. If we go to month over here, we can see the data is changing for this device. If we go to this device again and in month tab it's changing as well. It didn't pump water anyhow whatsoever. And yeah, basically all your functionalities will be working and your React app is online on EC2 instance. Congratulations, guys. And again, I'll be posting all the steps that I used in this video in the comment section below, description section below. So make sure to try to run it yourself, try understanding things. And yeah, I hope this video came in useful to you. Thanks for watching.